Hey, what up? It is the morning after UFC 143. I'm watching Man U get annihilated by Chelsea on Fox, and thought after I had some time to sleep on it, we could recap what happened last night. Nick Diaz loses to Carlos Condit in what some people think is a controversial decision. Now, when I was watching it, I had it 2-2 heading into the fifth round, I should say. And it really depends, in my mind, if you don't look at fight metrics, which you should, so you get the full story. But if you didn't look at them, it really depends on how you score that last takedown by Diaz, the only takedown in the fight. Is that enough to win that round? I don't know. I mean, he was starting to finish Carlos. Carlos got out of it and then got trapped again. So it really depends, in my mind, how you score that one. Except when you look at fight metrics and you see that Condit outscored Diaz 150-something to 115. And Diaz only won on fight metrics a single round. Now, I don't necessarily agree with that. I think you can add some other variables in there and give him 2 out of the 3 rounds, but I had a Carlos 3, Diaz 2 at the end of all that thing. It was a great fight. It was an interesting fight, much more technical fight that I think everyone was looking for. Even Dana White had admitted he thought that these two guys were going to run in the middle of the ring and bang it out and see who falls. Not what happened. There was quite a few moments, I would say more moments than there weren't, of Carlos backing up, which makes it very hard to score. That said, he was tagging Diaz more than Diaz was tagging him. Not the type of fight you want to see? Probably not. And if that's not the type of fight you want to see, look out, because GSP and Condit running away from each other and then lying on top of each other, yeah. Especially with GSP being as fired up as he was to fight Nick Diaz, it might be difficult for him to get that rage monster for Carlos Condit. We also saw Roy Big Country Nelson prove that you literally could hit him with a car. Probably wouldn't knock him out. Verdum looked neat. Just sick last night. That striking, those knees, that one knee that twisted Roy's head, I mean, I don't know anybody in MMA that can put up with that kind of punishment and keep coming. That said, fights are getting worse and worse. He's getting sloppier and sloppier. He's a great guy to fight. He's a great gatekeeper at that weight class, but he's really never going to be a contender. He's got his weight under control. He looked good. He could take a dump load of punishment, but yeah, Verdum, wow. Henin kept his streak alive in a decision over Scott Jorgensen, who also looked amazing. That was a great fight. Surprised that one didn't get fight of the night. Roy Nelson and Verdum got fight of the night. Thompson, who I was talking about earlier, continues his streak to, what, 64 fights and no losses? With that head kick, he gets KO of the night. And then Ed Herman kicked off the card, was getting absolutely owned, and comes out of nowhere and wins the fight, so good for him. He's had a great 2011 and a great start to 2012. And Koscheck and Mike Pierce. What can we say about that fight, other than I don't ever want to see it again? Koscheck, though, was reported this morning, if you've been following, has kind of split with AKA, so we now open the possibility to see him and John Fitch, which I'm not sure if I'm excited or not excited about, because last night was just not a good look for either one of those guys. But we get a interim title holder in Carlos Condit. I watched the fight in 3D, which you had the opportunity to do that. It was really interesting. They added 2 cameras so you can get different views that you don't get in the normal pay-per-view. And John Anik and Kenny Florian did the commentary. So it's it is a totally different broadcast going on. So if you have the opportunity, I think they're going to do 3 more this year. Make sure you go check it out. We get 10 whole days off. I know, exciting, right? And then we'll be right back at it with Diego Sanchez going on FX, and we'll cover that next week, as well as wrap this up as well. Way of the Warrior. Catch us on Twitter and Facebook at Wow Show. Have an awesome Super Bowl Sunday.